Welcome into your yoga practice. We're starting in child's pose. So bring the knees as wide as the mat, the toes together and the forehead down. Child's pose, please. Let the belly release between the thighs. You can sink your hips towards your heels. And start to find some deep breaths. Going within, observing the inflow, the outflow of your breath. Child's pose is like our home base pose of yoga. So you can return here anytime throughout the practice, of course. And I'll invite you to move through a lot of shapes, but you can always come back to this child's pose to recollect yourself, to slow down the breath. I invite you to modify in any way. And I offer the intention this morning around resistance. So noticing kind of where you're finding resistance in your thought patterns, in your body. Pablo Neruda says you can cut all the flowers, but you can't keep the spring from coming. So as the seasons change and shift, the moon cycles, totally natural for things to grow and change. Take another 5 breaths or so here. See if you can lengthen and deepen the length of each inhale, each exhale, before finding a little more movement. Where can you soften and release some tension, maybe gently wiggling the hips side to side or letting the forehead rock, massaging the third eye. Couple more breaths. And then slowly start to walk your hands in towards your knees to come to a seat. You can stay sitting on your knees, just kneeling, or you can flip over and sit on a block or cross the legs. We're going to do a pranayama called alternate nostril breathing. So I'll come a little closer for that. You'll be placing your thumb over one nostril and then closing your index and middle finger and using your ring finger. You could also place those fingers on the forehead if that feels easier. You'll breathe through the one side that's open. Hold at the top, close it off, move the thumb to open it, the other side, and exhale out that nostril. Then you'll inhale through the same nostril. Pause, close, so both are closed for a moment. Open the other side, exhale out. Inhale back up. Close and continue at your own breath pace. You can close the eyes. One or two more rounds. Continue to sit up tall. When you're ready, just release that breath. Close the eyes and take a couple of breaths in through both nostrils. And just notice, maybe one side felt more stuck than the other, totally normal. This kind of helps balance the nostrils and balance the left and right side of the brain, finding a little more equilibrium. As you're ready, come to hands and knees, quadruped position, tabletop, shoulders and wrists in line, knees and hips in line, and begin some slow cat-cow. Let the belly release, gaze to the ceiling, inhale. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone, chin towards chest. Keep going, press firmly through all fingered pads as if you're clawing the mat or palming a basketball, and then feel the tops of the feet pressing. And let the hips kind of initiate this movement and the head follow, warming up the spine. Then as you feel ready, start to find a neutral tabletop. And we're going to take a variation of cat-cow. So walk your hands over to the right, just stepping them a couple of inches, a couple of feet over, and your knees stay where they are. It's a little bit of an angled cat-cow. So take your cat-cow here, noticing the difference in the side body, maybe the difference in the shoulders. Maybe you don't go quite as deeply into the back bend. And then slowly pause, neutralizing the spine. And walk the hands, left palm, right palm, walking over to the left side of the mat, maybe even off the mat, and start some side cat-cow variations here. So you're undulating the spine, you're plugging the shoulders and in line with the wrists still, but your body's at an angle. When you feel ready, start to neutralize, walk back to your tabletop. And then lift your right knee, spin it out wide and plant the sole of the right foot. So your right knee is facing away from you and your heel and your toe are down on the ground. I kind of call it like a sailor's stance. It feels like left hand stays down, right hand to the right thigh. So your left knee is still in a tabletop position. Press back your hand into your thigh and your thigh into your hand, feeling that resistance. You can even lean back a little bit into the hips. You can keep it still or you can gently move it. One more big inhale. And then exhale, return to tabletop. And we'll take the left side. So the left knee lifts. And then plant the foot so the left toes are facing away from you. Right hand stays planted, left hand to the inner left thigh. Pressing into the thighs. Lean back a little bit. Press the thigh back into the hands. And you can let the head and the neck relax here. When you're ready, come to tabletop again. Hands and knees on the ground. Tuck the toes, lift and hover the knees. Inhale. Exhale, shins and knees down. Reach the right arm forward, left arm back. Spinal balance. Slowly lower right hand, left knee. Tuck the toes, hovering tabletop. So we're going to keep going like this. Knees down. Left arm forward alongside the ear. Right heel back. Draw the belly button to the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, palm down, knee down. Tuck the toes and hover. Again, knees down, right arm forward, left leg back. Slowly lower your hand and your knee and find your hovering tabletop again. Feeling the core start to wake up. Shake. Knees down, opposite arm, opposite foot. Find the balance. Working the core to stabilize. Inhale here. Exhale, hand down, knee down. Hovering table again. This time it's going to change. So hands stay down. Step your right foot back and your left foot back. So you're in plank. And then step your right knee into hover. Left knee into hover. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot back. Step your left knee in, hovering. Right knee in. Keep going. Stepping from plank to your hovering tabletop. If you need to lower the knees to tabletop to take a break, go for it. Moving slow, keep the hips, the shoulders squared and stable as best you can. And try to alternate which knee goes forward, which knee goes back. Next time you're in your hovering table, pause. Reach the hips back, stretch the arms straight and long, and then straighten the legs to downward facing dog. You could still have a little bend to them, maybe widen your stance or lengthen your stance. Inhale, shift forward, plank. Bend the knees deeply like you're going to the hovering tabletop. Press your hips back towards your heels like a floating child's pose. And then inhale, heels back, hamstrings long, down dog. Twice more, inhale, plank. Exhale, knees bent, hovering off the ground. Press through the heels of your hands, reach the hips back. And then start to press your heels back as your legs straighten, hips to the sky. Last time, plank. Knees bend. Hips go back. Inhale, tailbone to the sky. Downward facing dog. Move it around, pedal the feet a little bit. Maybe shake your head out. And then find a still downward facing dog and walk your hands to the back of the mat, finding forward fold. Stay here, bend the knees as much as you need, ragdoll, grab onto opposite elbows, sway, float. Let the head and the neck be heavy. Feel the weight shifting from the toes to the heels. And then release the arms long. Take a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Root through your feet to rise up, mountain pose. Inhale, the arms lift high. Exhale, bend the elbows, cactus the arms, open the chest, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forward again, hinging from the hips, letting the knees bend. Take a nice half lift, hands to the legs. Really resist the palms into the thighs or the shins. Exhale, head heavy. 2 more half lifts. Inhale, lengthen long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, release. This time, half lift and stay. Keep the torso as it is. Press into the feet, bring your hands behind your head, your elbows wide. Find a small bend to the knees. So not like a total chair pose, but just a little lightness, a little softness in the knees. Tilt your chest to the right, so left elbow comes down, right elbow goes up. But see if you can keep your hips stable. Inhale, back to center. Twist to your left. It might be a small movement, just an inch or two. Inhale, center. 1 more to each side. Really great for the back. Inhale, twist to the right. Come back to center. Little twist to the left. Feel the spine, the torso. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold. This time, crawl your hands forward. Walking all the way to down dog again. And take your time here. Walk the dog. Move it around again. Pedaling the feet. Lifting the heels. Spreading the fingers wide. Downward facing dog. Start to slow your dog to a still down dog. Inhale, shift to plank. And first vinyasa together, lower the knees, chest and chin to the earth. Slowly bend the elbows, untuck the toes. Cobra, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, slowly release, forehead back down. This time, interlace the hands behind your back. Make a big fist and press the fist away from you. Press the toenails into the mat and let that fist reaching back, pull the chest, the heart up. Shalabhasana. A little deeper back bend. Exhale, slowly return all the way to the ground. Forehead or one ear to the earth and shake the hips side to side. Release the lower back. Find your way to downward facing dog, maybe moving through child's pose, through a push-up, through plank, or through tabletop. Downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Draw the right knee towards the right elbow. And then find 3-legged down dog. Draw the right knee towards the left elbow. Pull it forward. 3-legged dog. Back to the right elbow, hold it here, and then cross it over to the left, and back to the right. Keep going like a windshield wiper. Your knee goes left and right. One more to the left, to the right, three-legged down dog. Shake the right leg out a little bit. And then lizard, so stepping the right foot outside the right hand, drawing it as far forward as you can, maybe inching it further. Lower your left knee down, so back knee down, left hand to the earth, right hand to the inner right thigh. Again, press the hand into the thigh, but press the thigh back into the hand, feeling the resistance. You can start to twist into that. Let the head and the neck release if you're feeling any straining there. You can move the position of your left hand so that you're not putting too much pressure into the shoulder. One more inhale. And then start to tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. So you're in a more active lizard. You can bring your right hand down, active lizard. Starting to walk your hands all the way to the left. Your right toes are going to spin a little bit. Left heel spins down. Deep lunge to the back of the mat. The left knee bends, right leg stays straight. So it could either just be a deep lunge or full skandasana lunge. Hands can stay on the floor for support, or try to lift and balance the palms off the mat. Slowly from here, take a seat. So let your hips come down, lengthen the spine, and then your left knee will start to come towards the earth. Big hip opener. Inhale, draw it back up. So kind of let the left knee close down and open back up. Hands can be behind the back to keep the spine long. Doesn't have to go all the way to the earth. Might be a big sensation here. And then the next time your left knee is down, keep it there. Bend your right knee, so both knees are bent. Bring your right hand outside your right hip. Sweep your left arm over your ear, and then reach the hips forward for rock star pose. Open the chest, open the heart. Big inhale. Exhale, slowly lower your hips back down. Crawl your hands forward to the top of the mat and take some cat-cows to wash that out. Use the next 8 breaths to find your way to downward facing dog. Maybe you go through a vinyasa, chaturanga, from up dog or cobra into down dog. Maybe you keep cat-cowing a little bit or come back to child's pose. Take a big breath in, down dog. Exhale, let it go. Once more, inhale. Maybe audibly sigh to exhale out. And then on this inhale, left leg lifts high. Then the knee, draw the left knee towards the left elbow. Exhale, three-legged dog. Draw the left knee towards the right elbow, across the body. Left heel high again. Draw the left knee back to the left, and then start to cross right and left, right and left. One more time. Three-legged down dog, left heel high. Look outside your left pinky finger and draw your left knee towards the left elbow, and step quietly, softly, left foot comes down. Gently lower your right knee. Right hand stays planted, left hand comes to the outer edge of that left thigh. You can widen your stance, heel toe the foot wider or further forward if it didn't get quite as far as you want it. You can twist a little bit into that twisted lizard. Head relaxes, move the jaw around, the tongue around. Come back to the breath. Then when you feel ready, tuck your right toes. Start to lift your right knee, your right thigh. Left hand comes down. Start to walk, turn all the way towards the wide edge of your mat. Walking the hands to the right ankle. Skandasana, deep lunge to the back of the mat. Left leg stays long. Heel down, left toes can point to the sky. Maybe the balance with the hands, inhale. Exhale, take a seat, let your hips release to the earth. And then with a long spine, start to lower your right knee to the ground and lift it back up. Hands can come behind the back. Lower the right knee, lift it back up. So left leg is long, on the long edge of your mat, toes facing the top of your mat. Right foot is planted and then lifts to lower the knee, the shin to the earth. Next time you have your right knee down, keep it there and then bend your left knee. So come to this posture if you were somewhere else. Bring your left hand outside your left hip, reach your right arm up alongside your ear. Press into your left hand, come onto your shins, hips and thighs forward, big opening of the front body. Exhale slowly, hips come down, hands come in front of the left shin, crawl yourself, cat-cow, maybe some side cat-cow, or a little more freedom to move from hands and knees. Moving organically from tabletop position. Taking your time. You could even do some wrist stretches, maybe flipping the palms or the fists and the wrists around. And then you have about 10 breaths to find your way to down dog. So maybe you stay in the wrist stretches and the cat-cow. Maybe you sink your hips back to a child's pose variation. Maybe you take your vinyasa. Meeting in down dog when you're ready. From downward facing dog, reach the right leg high. Warrior one, so step the right hand, a foot where the right hand is, left heel down. Inhale, arms up high. Sink into the lunge, and then just release your shoulders, kind of shimmy them out, let it go. Big sweep with your arms, so sweep almost as if you could tap the floor with your fingertips. Reach up, bend the elbows, like we did in our cactus back bend. Sweep and release. Couple more times. So bend the elbows, open the chest, open the heart, release the arms. If it feels good again, shimmy it out. Twice more. Sweep, lift, and let the arms go. Next time you're in warrior one, traditional warrior one arm. Open up to warrior two, right arm forward, left arm back. Adjust your legs. Check your foundation, your feet. And then we're going to take bow and arrow arms. So the left arm is going to paint the sky like a rainbow, sweep all the way towards the right hand, and then bend the left elbow and pull back, reach back. Couple more times. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, pull. So imagine there's a bow and arrow, imaginary resistance there. Let's take one more. Star pose, heels in, toes out, arms and legs reach straight, and then take warrior two to the back of the mat. So left toes face the back of the mat, left knee is bent. Press to the outer edge of the right foot. Sweep the right arm all the way up and over to the left. Bend the elbow and pull back. So feel the resistance as you're drawing your rainbow. Imagine you're moving through some thick fog. Pull back. One more time. As you sweep, you inhale. And as you pull with the resistance, exhale. Inhale, star pose. Bring your hands to your hips. Bring the feet parallel with each other. And take a wide-legged forward fold, head heavy. Palms can reach through the legs, or they can reach forward like downward facing dog. They could reach for your ankles. Shifting a little more weight into the toes, lightness of the heels. And return to your ujjayi, your yoga breath, in and out the nose. Wherever your arms are, start to bring them back under the chest. Take a halfway lift to lengthen the spine, and then with that space, crawl your hands to the top of the mat. Step your right foot back to plank, and your vinyasa or skip it, finding down dog. From down dog, the left leg rises, warrior one on the left side. So step the left foot forward. You can have a little more width in your stance. Reach the arms up alongside the ears to start. Sink deeper into the lunge. And then let the shoulders, the arms release, shake it out. Inhale, big sweep, reach down and up. Bend the elbows, open the heart, let it go with the shoulders. Keep going with your breath. Big inhale as you sweep. Exhale as you bend. Next time your arms come up, just stay in your warrior one arms. Open it up to warrior two. Bend a little deeper into the lunge. Take a reverse warrior, reach up and back. And then inhale up into star. Back of the mat, warrior two, bend the right knee. Twisting back, turning backwards. Reach up and back, reverse. Right hand to the sky. Left hand down the left leg. Star pose, heels in, toes out. Hands to the hips, either forward fold again or a deep hip opener, frog pose. So for frog pose, you'll bend the knees, bring the knees to the mats. The shins are parallel with each other and the knees are in line with the ankles. You slowly come down. You can use your hands or your elbows to kind of resist how far and how deep you take it into this hip opener. Big, slow breaths in. Smooth, controlled breaths out. Let the head relax. Send the breath into the hips. Take about 3 or 4 more slow cycles of breath. As carefully as you can, start to use your palms to press yourself back up. And then draw your knees closer to each other before you move to gently come out of that hip stretch. Walk your hands to the top of the mats. 12 breaths to find down dog. Maybe cat-cow, maybe child's, maybe a vinyasa. When you reach down dog, inhale, reach the right leg high. Warrior one again, step the right foot forward. Inhale, arms rise. And then exhale, release the hands down and make a big fist interlacing your palms. Press down to lengthen the spine, lift the heart, lift the chest. Humble warrior, so folding inside your right leg, or your torso can rest on the thigh for more support. Very important that the head is heavy here. You can widen the stance if balance is super challenging. Heel to the right foot wider. Maybe a lion's breath. Exhale audibly out the mouth, stick out the tongue. Release some energy. One more lion's breath. And then release both hands inside your right foot. Walk your left hand back towards kind of the middle of the mat. Press the left palm down, and then the right hand inside the inner right thigh. We've been here before in a different variation with the knee down. So just press the hand into the thigh and the thigh back into the hand. Kind of manually opening up the hips. Big inhale. Start to walk the left hand a little back more towards the top of the mat. And then open all the way up, spin the left hand back, warrior two. Reach the right arm forward, adjust your arms, adjust your legs. Flip your right palm again, reverse warrior. This time you choose either side angle, triangle, or balancing half moon, maybe grabbing a block or a prop to support yourself. Balancing on the right foot. Notice if the right big toe wants to turn into the left. That's just if your hips are tighter. So try to keep the right foot facing forward. Lift through the left hand if you're balancing. And then everybody find a forward fold. So step the left foot down 2 feet to the mat. Bend the knees, head heavy. Take a half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain, rise up. Press the palms, pull them to heart center and close the eyes. Let the shoulders release down the back. With the eyes closed, lift all 10 toes. Spread them a little wider and then see if you can lower them back to the mat. Stand tall. Take a smooth breath. On your next inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift to lengthen. Step, or if you want to play with hopping back, make sure your elbows are bent for a soft landing. Taking your time to get to downward facing dog. So we can take the left side. Inhale, the left leg rises. Warrior one. Release the hands down. See if you can switch the grip, the less habitual cross of the fingers. Punch the fist down, lengthen the spine, and then with the length, humble warrior fold. Press to the outer edge of the right foot, so you can have the weight evenly distributed between left and right foot. Option to take some lion's breath or audible exhales. And then both hands inside the left foot. Walk the right hand back, almost towards the middle of the mat. Left hand inside your left thigh. Press it open. Start to walk your right hand up towards the top of the mat again. And imagine warrior two. Sweep the right arm all the way back to pull yourself up. Warrior two. Stay with the lunge. Reverse warrior. And then make a choice. Side angle, triangle, or half moon. Ardha Chandrasana. You don't have to do the same thing you did on the other side. Stack the shoulders, stack the hips for half moon. Maybe find a little more lightness in the left fingers and hover them off the earth. Lean your heart back. If you fell out, come on back in. One more inhale. And then forward fold, 2 feet to the earth. Bend the knees a lot, head heavy. Maybe ragdoll again, maybe hands behind the nape of the neck. Release the hands, take a halfway lift, reset the spine. Plant the palms, step or gently hop back. Your flow of choice. Always can make the choice to skip the flow. Finding down dog. Big breath in here. Big breath out. One more cycle, inhale. And exhale. Look to your hands. Bend the knees. Maybe start to shorten your stance a little bit. Tiptoe your feet in. We're going to hop or walk to a squat. So knees bend deeply, and on the exhale, feet step outside the hands. Press the palms together, elbows into the inner thighs. Feel that resistance. Press the thighs into the elbows, elbows into the thighs to lengthen the spine. the heart up. And then see if you can keep this connection of the arms on the thighs. The palms don't have to stay connected, but keep the connection of the arms and the legs as you roll onto your back. Keep the connection if you can, then press your palms forward like you're doing crow on your back. Lift head, neck, and shoulders. Elbows stay connected to the inner thighs. Knees are bent. Feeling the core work. Stay here for 3. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders a little higher. 2 and 1. Shake it out, bicycle the legs. Full body stretch. Whatever you need. Give yourself a hug. Maybe a happy baby. Rocking and rolling a little bit. You have about 8 breaths of whatever movement feels really nourishing right now. Somehow, we'll start to make our way back to downward facing dog. So take your time to get there. Maybe a rock and roll vinyasa. From downward facing dog, walk your feet all the way to your hand. Forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen. Keep the torso as it is, bring the hands behind the head. Start to bend the knees, coming all the way into chair pose. Extend the arms long. Press into the left foot, reach the right knee, one-legged mountain. Line up your thighs and reach back for your ankles. So you could come to the inner side of the foot or the outer side. Inhale, reach the left arm high, and start to hinge and fold for dancer pose. Kick your foot into your hand and your hand into your foot. With that resistance, your torso, your chest comes down. One more inhale, and then slowly rise up. Keep the connection of hand to foot, finding your quad stretch. Without dropping your right foot, if you can, find the balance. Pull your right shin into your chest, hands around the shin, squeeze and compress it. Roll the ankle around a little. And then find tree pose. So right leg to left. And again, resist. Press the thigh into the foot into the thigh. Hands can be at heart. You can extend your branches. You can play with more balance by closing the eyes or swaying your branches. Draw the left hip in if it's splaying out. Two more breaths. Stand taller. Shoulders down the back. And then release. Right foot down, shake it out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands behind the head. Start to bend the knees, sink the hips. Cross into the right foot. That's going to be your base. Now lift the left knee, one-legged mountain. Inhale, arms up. Left hand comes to the left foot. Line up the thighs, stretching out the quad. And again, your left hand can grab the foot from the inside or the outside, whichever feels better for your shoulders. Reach taller, and then start to kick your foot into your hand as you hinge from the hips. Slowly choosing a point to stare at to help with the balance. Inhale, begin to rise back up. See if you can keep the balance on the right foot and draw the left knee to the chest. Squeeze it in. And then release. Place that left foot anywhere but the knee. It could even be a kickstand at your ankle with the toes on the earth. Keeping your point of focus, your drishti, something that's not moving to help with the balance. Any arm variation. Thigh into foot, foot into thigh, or shin, wherever your foot is. Exhale to release. Shake the legs out, shake the arms out. And then inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Option to go through a vinyasa. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Draw the right knee to the left elbow, cross the body. And then kick the right foot through. Let the left heel come down. Fallen star, lift the left arm. Right hand is the base, hips higher. And then slowly spin the heels down, toes up. Lower yourself to a seat, so a wide-legged seat. Your hips are down, your legs are facing towards the back of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then bring the left forearm inside the left thigh. Reach the right arm overhead for Jani Shirshasana. Let the head release. Taking a side body stretch, facing kind of the back of the mat. And then start to sweep your right arm all the way back up. Right hand comes down, twisting yourself, somehow finding your way back to downward facing dog. We're going to take that on the left, and then we're going to start to warm down. So as you're ready, left leg lifts, left knee towards right elbow, kick the foot away, the outer edge of the foot plant, the right heel comes down, right arm to the sky, lift the hips, lift the heart, very slowly, toes spin to the ceiling, hips come to the floor with this wide stance. Nice, yeah, you got it. Reach the arms up and then hinging right forearm into right thigh, left arm over the ear, feeling the side body, left side body stretch, grounding both sit bones, peel the left sit bone down, you'll feel a deeper side body stretch. Maybe move the jaw around, flex the toes and press the ball of the foot away from you to feel the engagement in the legs. One more breath. And then sweep the left arm all the way up. Plant it outside your left hip. Start to turn your chest back to center, pressing back to down dog. Option to take another vinyasa here before we go into half pigeon. If you're ready for half pigeon, you'll lift the right leg high, bend the right knee, draw the shin forward, lift the chest, and then you can start to fold for sleeping pigeon. So crawling your chest to a prop or to the floor, or to the pillow of your hands. Either stay here or start to press into the palms. We'll have the option for mermaid or mermaid prep, the quad stretch. So from the upright position, you bend your left knee, reach around for opposite or the same hand. You could also use a strap or a scarf here, some sort of prop. You could also just have the bend and start to feel the stretch if you're unable to grab or you don't have a prop available. You could also grab with both hands. So this is the prep for mermaid, full mermaid. You hook your elbow and you reach your arm overhead. Feeling the quad stretch, feeling the heart open. One more breath if you're taking a variation of mermaid or mermaid prep. And then release the hands down. Option to go through a vinyasa between sides. The final vinyasa of the practice. And we move to the left leg, half pigeon. Sliding the knee, the shin forward. Lifting the heart before settling down. You can choose to stay in your sleeping pigeon a little longer. Or add the quad stretch, pressing the palms, lifting up slowly. Letting the right knee bend this time. Either reaching the right hand back for the right ankle or foot, or the left hand back for a little more of a twist, or your strap back, or both hands back. Kind of kicking the foot into the hands to open the heart. And maybe aspire to a mermaid or a mermaid variation. One more breath. Exhale, release, palms down. Final downward facing dog. Look to the hands. We're going to hop through to our seat. So bend the knees. Exhale, land softly. Coming to your seat. Stretch your legs long in front of you. Hands behind the back to lift the spine. And then bend the right knee and cross it over the left thigh. Start to twist to your right hand behind the vertebra. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to twist a little deeper. Then begin to counter twist, turning to your left, looking over your left shoulder, and let the right leg go long, shake the legs out. Notice how they're feeling. Let's switch sides, left across the right, twist to your left. On your inhale, you lengthen, crown and head higher. Exhale, twist into that space you're making. And then take the counter twist, unravel, hands to the ground, pull yourself to the right. Let the left leg go long, shake it out a little bit. And then bend your knees, plant the soles of the feet. Make sure you have enough space to roll all the way onto your back. Slowly coming down. Keep the knees bent, soles of the feet down. 2 back bends. So tickle your heels. Press the palms down. Inhale, lift the hips. Squeeze the thighs together as if there's a block there. Maybe you roll the shoulders underneath and interlace the palms. Go a little deeper in the shoulders. Lift the thighs. Lift the hips. One more inhale, and then slowly release the shoulders, one vertebra at a time. Placing your tailbone back to the earth. Either feet wide or knees together, or soles of feet together, knees wide, or just kind of windshield wiper the legs. Taking a break before our last back bend. This last back bend, you could do the same thing. If you're feeling really open, you can take wheel with the hands by the ears, lifting up. Or if you have a prop like a block or a pillow, you could do a more supported bridge. You could also use your hands. So for a supported bridge, you'll inhale, lift the hips, hands or the block, the prop, at whatever height is best for you. It could be the smallest height, a little bigger will go beneath the sacrum to just support you in the back bend. Wherever you are, just breathing. If you used a prop or a block, slowly start to remove that out of the way. And everybody very slowly coming down, giving yourself a hug, squeeze the knees into the chest. Grab to the outer edges of your ankles or your feet. Happy baby knees to the outer rib cage. Move around side to side. Maybe stretch one leg, then the other. Maybe flutter the lips. Start to envision your Shavasana. And when you're ready, set yourself up for corpse pose. Take the legs long. Find the position where you can be still. Eyes closed. To integrate all of the benefits of the practice. I'll give you about 5 minutes of rest and then I'll guide you out. Deepen the inhales. Lengthen the exhales. And choose if you want to stay right where you are for several more minutes beyond this class. Or if you want to start to find small movement from the extremities into larger movement, a full body stretch or a hug. And eventually going to the side and sitting up over the course of the next 8 to 10 breaths to close the practice together. The desire for a more positive experience is itself a negative experience. And paradoxically, the acceptance of one's negative experience is itself a positive experience. Mark Manson. From a comfortable seat, sit up tall, maybe hands to heart or hands to chest. Exhale. Inhale fully and give it back. Nice practice. Thanks for joining me.